Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to our webinar today. My name is Jon Morrison, and I'm the CEO of Get Clear Consulting. I'm sure you figured that out because you wouldn't have made it through all the different steps to actually get to a webinar without figuring that out. So I'm so glad you're here. I know that your time is precious. There's so many things going on, and so we want to get right into it right now. So I'm going to share with you how to create clear marketing. So I'm going to open up our my file here. Give me share my screen with you. So we're going to talk about the 5 ways to grow your business with clear marketing. And that's the goal, is you want to have great marketing that grows your business. That's why you got into business, right? You want to help more people. You want to feed your family. You want to fight with your spouse less when you're making more money. There's lots of different things that happen when you grow your business, and marketing, I believe, is the best way to do that. So here's how you can do it with marketing. First, I want to share with you a story. I love sharing stories. I like to draw cartoons, and so this one is called Never Too Far Fetch. It's about a captain. We'll just call him Captain Dave. All right, this is Captain Dave, and he's a good guy. He runs a ship. A few years back, given the technology of this particular ship, but he has an assistant named Smeed. Captain Dave and Smeed have many years of working together, sailing the seas, going on great voyages. And so they just really work well together. So one day they were out overlooking the deck, and they saw a pirate ship coming. And, Captain Dave knew what was coming. When pirate ships are coming, that means that trouble is brewing, and there's going to be a fight, because pirates are not like the nice kind of pirates you might see in other cartoons. But these are actually really bad pirates, and they were going to take over his ship. They're going to try to take their lives. They're going to take everything. That's what pirates do, cause a lot of trouble. So Captain Dave looked over at his assistant and said, "Smeed, fetch me my red shirt." So Smeed, faithfully, as he does, a good assistant, goes and gets Captain Dave his shirt, and it's time to address the men. One of those real passionate scenes you see in movies when there's a battle coming. He stands in front of them and says, "We need to be brave. We need to be bold. These pirates are going to try to take everything of ours, and so let's defeat them today, because we want to go back to our land. We want to go back to our wives and to our kids. And so be brave and be bold and fight with everything you have." Well, the good news is that they did, and they won the battle. But then the crew started to get a little tired, a little thirsty, a bit hungry. They needed to replenish their reserves. And so Captain Dave and Smeed saw that there was an island nearby. But the problem is that the island was full of red-eyed wolves who were not just going to easily surrender their land to anybody. So another battle was coming. And so Captain Dave looked up at Smeed and said, "Smeed, fetch me my red shirt." And so Smeed, being faithful, goes and gets the red shirt. Captain addresses his crew once again, says, "We have another battle ahead of us. We need to be brave. We need to be bold. We need to fight with everything we have." And sure enough, they do it. There's a great struggle, and yet the red-eyed wolves are eventually defeated, and the men are able to get the rest that they need. Well, that night as they were sleeping, Captain Dave got bit by a snake. And so he nudged his assistant and said, Smeed, fetch me my red shirt." So Smeed, in the quiet of the night, said, "Sir, I've been serving you faithfully for all these years, and every time there's any kind of danger happening, you always ask for your red shirt. Can I just ask, what's it all about?" He says, "Well, in battle, we need to be courageous as leaders. There's a lot of demands on us, and if our crew sees us in any kind of peril or bleeding or anything, they're going to lose heart. They might even lose the battle, and we'll lose everything. So I need to create a strong front showing that we've got it all together. So I wear this red shirt, so no matter what happens to me, I always look the same." So Smeed kind of understands, gets the red shirt, and they go back to sleep. But they're awoken just a few hours later by this awful sound of this roar. Turns out they were not alone as they thought on this island. There was this huge monster that Captain Dave spotted. So he looks over, and sure enough, there's this huge towering beast. He's casting this shadow over all of them. And these are not wolves. These are not pirates. This means they're in big trouble. So the captain of many years looks over at his assistant and says, "Smeed, fetch me my brown pants." Why do I tell that story? Well, this is a story about leadership, isn't it? If you're a business leader, you know that there's a lot of demands on you from a lot of people, and you just can't crack under the pressure all the time. You just can't talk about how stressed you are. And I think marketing is one of those things that causes a lot of business leaders stress. But it's not like they can talk openly to their potential clients or to on their online world about how stressed they are about marketing. No, it's one of those things you just have to bury. And when you try to do it, one of the reasons why people feel like it's not doing anything or why they don't value it is because they don't value marketing so much. So too many business owners, in my mind, in my experience, are skeptical about marketing, right? Maybe marketing isn't the problem. What if it's the problem? What if the biggest problem is that maybe everybody's not doing marketing well enough? They're just all creating more noise, and so they should start throwing more money at the noise, and it just gets noisier and noisier. As this world, we find new ways to do marketing, and yet sometimes oftentimes we're never guaranteed that it's going to work. So my encouragement to you is to give marketing another shot, but do so with some discernment and use the right kind of marketing. Here, let me give an example of the wrong kind of marketing. If you feel like the little line, these are my beloved Seahawks. I just took a picture of our TV. Maybe it's not that clear here, but what is clear is that it says crucial catch just above the Seahawks there. Now, I didn't know what crucial catch meant. I saw that there was a little color spectrum there. It looks like Polaroid or something. And I was like, well, what is crucial catch all about? I kept seeing it on, the players' gear and stuff. And it turns out I did a quick Google search and found out that this was a campaign so that people will catch cancer early. So maybe it's through a mammogram or visiting your doctor and getting checked regularly. That's what crucial catch is all about. So it's crucial to catch cancer early on. But it's very not clear in just one of those two words there in the end zone, the Seahawks end zone. So not everyone's going to have the kind of time that I did to actually think about it and to look into it. What I think happened was some marketing agency wanted to get really clever in partnership with the NFL, and they were giving all these millions of dollars to say, here, think of something clever and cute to get us some sort of advertising that promotes football and cancer at the same time. Sorry, it doesn't doesn't promote cancer, but promotes catching cancer. So somebody thought, well, football is about catching and cancer is about catching, so why don't we call it crucial catch? Well, in trying to be clever and cute, they ended up being unclear. And so I think if they had just said something like, go get checked for cancer, go get screened every year, I think they'd have a ton more people responding because it was clever. Sorry, because it was clear. Well, I've actually put my whole business around this idea about helping businesses and business leaders get clear about their message so that they can actually connect with the people that they really want to connect with and not waste any more time or dollars on marketing, but use it and invest it in their business so that they can get a great return on their marketing. That's the goal. Let me just share a little bit more about myself. I'm the CEO of Get Clear Consulting. I'm a licensed Storybrand guide, so I've gone all in a partnership with Donald Miller and his team out of Nashville. Donald Miller wrote a book called Building a Storybrand. I think it's brilliant and really helpful in helping us connect with who our ideal client is, presenting ourselves as a trustworthy guide that they want to do business with. And so I talk a lot about the Storybrand framework. We're going to talk about it in one of our points as well, but that's a huge part of our business. I had a chance to study at Oxford University and Biola University. That's where I got to study Christian philosophy, where I learned to take really complex ideas and make them simple enough for even a junior high girl to understand. And so that was quite a challenge, but something that's part of my resume that I'm quite proud of. I live in Abbotsford, BC, which is in the Great White North of Canada on the west coast, where we actually don't get too much white, yet still the stereotype remains. My wife, Haley, and my two girls, Abigail and Gracie, are a great joy to me. I love being a dad and a husband when I'm not doing work. And but this is probably what pertains most to us today. Is my business is using storytelling principles to bring clarity to business leaders in their marketing, so it connects with customers and grows their business. That's what I really want to do. I want to help you grow your business because I believe if your business grows, the economy is better, your family is better, you can enjoy the life that you deserve to live, and that's what we want, right? So let me share with you one of the secret weapons. Our secret sauce really is about clarity. In the battle for people's attention, when everybody's moving so fast, I believe that it's the clear who win the battle for attention, because that's what we want. We just want people to notice us. We want to separate ourselves from the noise, from all the distractions, so people actually hear our message. Because if they could hear our message, we could show them that we have a great product to offer, that we can really help solve some problems and make their life better. So clarity, I believe, is what's going to do it. Why? Because everyone's moving so fast we don't have a lot of time or energy to be thinking through, what does crucial catch mean? Or what is this idea of this headline you have on your website? It's kind of interesting, but I don't really understand what it's all about. People just don't have time to be thinking about that. We want to just conserve our thinking and conserve our thoughts for the other pressures that we have in our life. And so we want to learn how to be clear. This is what the truth is. In a world where everyone is moving way too fast, I believe that clear is better than clever. And clear is better than cute as well. And clear is better than creative. So if you're not clever or cute or creative in your marketing, that's totally okay, because you can be clear. And as a result, you can actually win the battle for people's attention. So here's how we're going to do that. We're going to talk about 5 ways to grow your business with clear marketing. The first one is to talk about a clear target. Secondly, we're going to look at having a clear message. Thirdly, we're going to talk about having a clear strategy, then a clear website, and then clear value. So we're going to have to move fast, but it's going to be well worth it. Okay, so let's look at the first one, having a clear target. A clear target will give you the focus you need to show up where you have to be. Imagine if we were planning a hunting trip and we decided, okay, we can't shoot all the animals, right? It would be just a disaster from a public relations perspective, and we wouldn't get a license to go hunting after every single animal. So we'd have to pick one, right? Maybe we get a ticket for, let's just say, moose. So we got a ticket for a moose. And then the next question we have to ask is, okay, if we're going after moose, where are the moose located? We don't have to show up where all the animals are located. We just want the moose. So then we show up where they are and hopefully start speaking moose language or using moose calls or whatever it is we need to do to attract moose. But the first step is to get okay, this is who we know that we're going after. So the question is, in your business, do you have a clear target? Do you know who your ideal client is? Who do you like working with? Who pays the bills the best? What industry or sector are they in? What do they want as it relates to our brand? Those are the kind of questions that you ask. And as a result, then you start saying, okay, now we know kind of the profile of this person. We know what they're looking for. And so now we know how to position ourselves so that we get in their way or we get their attention. All right. The second part of clear marketing that's going to help you grow your business is having a clear message. A clear message is what you say when you open up your mouth, or what you write out when you want to communicate to your ideal client. And it helps you seize every opportunity that you have to connect with somebody. And to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to use the Storybrand framework. And what I'm going to do is going to teach you some ways to communicate, some talking points that you can use that are proven to actually get people's attention. Okay, so when we're engaged in some kind of a story, our brains are triggered. A certain part of our brains are triggered. So it's like, well, this is different. This is not just someone preaching at me. This is not just someone throwing facts at me. This is actually a story that I'm finding myself a part of, and our brains get hijacked by that. So what we want to do is when you use words, we want to actually have people pay attention to them. And so to do that, we got to ask, well, what are the kind of things that your ideal client, Sam, for example, is wanting to pay attention to? What kind of stories is he interested in? And that's where we use the power of the Storybrand marketing framework. So all the major stories, the great stories, the ones that don't confuse us, the ones that we actually watch till the end, have these 7 elements to them. So we've studied the power of story and looking at all the great ones that have impacted us. The great storytellers usually incorporate these 7 elements. The first thing is that there's a character. Now, you need to know, what does this main character want? It's usually just one thing that's kind of driving them. This is the happily ever after. The earlier that the audience is introduced to the happily ever after, then we think, okay, now at least I know what this character is motivated by. So your ideal client is motivated by something. There's something that they think about, something that they want to achieve in life. But the problem is that something's stopping them from getting it. And that's when a story actually gets interesting. The earlier in the story that we know that there's a problem, well, now we're all of a sudden introduced to attention. That keeps us interested because we want to know, is there going to be resolution to this tension? Is there hope that this person is actually going to win the day in the end, or are they going to be saddled and taken out by this problem? Now, problems are complex. We don't have time to get into it totally, but I could just say this. When it comes to the problem, we think there's an external problem and then there's an internal problem. There's a philosophical one, but we can't quite get it. We don't have the time to get into it. We'll just say this. External means there's something in the outside world that's causing them some kind of grief. The grief is the internal. The external is what's causing the grief. And that's what creates a market, right? The external problem usually creates the market, and the anxiety is usually what causes or stress or whatever it is what causes people to move. So oftentimes people find solutions to their internal problems. It's only when something is causing me stress or I'm wasting my life or whatever it may be, as it relates to your product. That's when people say, that's all I can handle. I can't handle anymore. Like Popeye, right? That's all I can stand. I can't stand no more. And then they are compelled to buy. So what you can do as a brand is agitate that problem. Let people know that you totally understand what's going on. And that's how you position yourself as a guide. A guide actually says, look, we understand the problems that you're facing. We know that it's keeping you up at night. We know the stress that it's causing you. And all of a sudden say, oh, you understand me. Because people want to be understood. But not just understood. They also want someone who can be trustworthy enough to find help with them. So it's not their first rodeo. It doesn't freak them out of the external and internal problems that you're facing, because they've helped a lot of people before. That's the good thing about guides is it's not, they've been on this journey many times and they've seen a lot of people. They have testimonials that even support the idea. So a character with a problem that he cannot solve on his own needs to meet a guide. And so good storytellers, good screenwriters introduce this character into the story. And this is where most businesses kind of get it wrong, because they present themselves as the main character. Look at us. Look at how great we are. Here's the things that we want. Here's the things that we do. And it's actually, no, that's the wrong way to approach it, because people, if they're the main character in a story and they hear about another main character in a story, they think, well, there's an interesting story. But if you step aside, I have a sense of urgency to win my story. So people aren't looking for another hero. What they're looking for to win their story is a guide. And that's where you have to position your brand as a guide to the hero. But a guide doesn't just tell them that he understands and that he can help them. He actually gives them a plan. Here's how we're going to cross the river. All you see is the raging water. But I actually see 3 stones. We're going to take the first step, and we're going to take on the second stone, and then we're going to go to the third stone. You're going to be across to what you need, the happily ever after that you want to achieve. And so you can actually tell the person your plan. And that's going to be part of having a clear message, is that they have all this confusion. What happens if I do business with you? Well, let's take away that confusion and let's tell them what happens when they do business with us. And so have you created a clear plan for your hero to win the day? Because if you do, then you're going to have clarity in your marketing that other competitors or other people aren't going to have. And then you're going to call them to action. This is where you empower the hero to take the first step, to pick that piece of low-lying fruit, to buy this now, or enroll in our program today, or schedule a call, or even just fill out a form. Just something that they can do right away. That's part of the plan for them to win. Because you don't want to just manipulate them and do it for them. You want to empower them to take action themselves. And if they do take action, the good news is that it's going to be successful for them, right? This is a success and failure if they don't. So we want to show them, if you do work out with us, if things go well, this is what it's going to look like. And so you help them imagine how they can improve their lives. And if they don't, well, it's going to be failure. They're going to get stuck in their problem. They're not going to take the guide's advice, and they're just going to stay in their stress and their anxiety. So the question is, have you shown what success looks like, and have you talked about failure? It's okay to talk about failure. You don't want to overwhelm them with it. It's kind of like a bread recipe, right? When you're making bread, you don't just dump on a whole bunch of salt. You sprinkle the salt in. But if you forget the salt, there's a lot of flavor that's missing. But if you include it, then all of a sudden it becomes very tasteful, right? But you don't do a ton of it. So a lot of clients say to me, I'm not comfortable with putting in doom and gloom. I said, no, it's okay. You're just telling the truth. You're just giving them a little bit of truth because you really do care about them. And you want to say, look, if you don't follow our plan, if you don't take action, then who's to say that you're not going to continue on in your external and internal problems? You're going to stay. They're going to continue, and likely they're going to get worse. So take action today, and we'll take you to the success that you want. See how this is all part of a framework that actually provides clarity, because we've taken time to study your ideal client, and we know the things that's causing them stress that they're going to be interested in and what they're looking for in a guide. And when you start speaking, whether it be in your elevator pitch or on your website, the message will be very clear, and it'll be part of a story that your character is already trying to win, that they're already engaged in. And so you're going to become very interesting when you start talking along these lines, using the power of your customer story to show how you can actually solve their problem, and you're the best candidate for it. All right, so that's number 2. That's how you create a clear message. But number 3, you want to have a clear strategy. It keeps you focused from chasing every shiny new tool. I don't know what it is, but Facebook is totally on to me because they know that I'm so interested in marketing. I mean, I don't know how they figured it out. Maybe because I run a marketing agency. Could be that. But either way, all these new tools are constantly bombarding my newsfeed, and new ideas, new strategies, how to 10x your business, how to guarantee new leads. All these ideas are constantly I'm being hit with. And if I was to join every single program or download every single new tool or subscribe to every new piece of software, man, I would literally bleed my business dry with 1,000 of these paper cuts. And I don't want to do that. I want to keep my hard-earned money, and you want to keep your hard-earned money as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, well, let's be strategic about what we do use, because there are some tools that are very helpful. We don't have to have all the tools, but we just have to have some. Only the ones that work and the ones that work for us. So what we're going to do is we want to create clear funnels. And what funnels do is it says, this is the process of how we take browsers and we convert them into buyers. So at the top of a funnel is where all the activity of all the different people in the hustle and bustle of life, we want to try to get them interested in what we do. So you want to create, I just use Facebook here as an example. You don't need to do all social media channels. You just the ones where your target market is located. And with 1 billion people, Facebook has got a lot of our target market with accounts. So you want to create some sort of an ad, you want to create some sort of a group, or just have some kind of a presence where you're getting people's attention, you're helping them, you're adding value to their lives, and you're starting to earn a little bit of trust. And as you add value, what you want to do is you want to take them to your landing page. This could be your website. This could be a page on your website, or just even a separate site that just shows that this solves this one problem that they're facing. And so you take them to the landing page and you have a clear call to action, like a consultation. So in my business, I want to get people, I want to be out there, I want to be showing people that I'm valuable, that I can help them with their marketing. And then I want to take them to a landing page that shows like, hey, this is one way we solve problems. If you have this problem, schedule a consultation call. It just takes half an hour and it's totally free. But get on the phone with me and then we'll get you in some kind of a plan. So if you're a chiropractor, it's going to be like a treatment plan. If you're in marketing, it's going to be a marketing package. If you're I don't know. I mean, whatever your idea is, you want to get them on a plan. So this is just, I ripped this one off of a chiropractor friend of mine who told me we could use his funnel. And that's what it looks like. Very simple. Maybe add a proposal in there, send a proposal after a consultation, which then leads to a package. I mean, there's lots of different things you could do. Heck, you guys are part of a webinar here, which is part of my funnel. So just below landing page, I would have webinar, which then hopefully will lead to a consultation. So you can add little things, but I know this is the process to which I take people, right? This is how we get them along. And I don't have 10 funnels. I just have one very clear funnel that I take people through. All right. So that's the power of clarity, is it keeps you from having to subscribe to every new idea or have to study every new idea. Yeah, there's room for tweaking and revising as necessary, but having clarity keeps you from chasing every little new shiny new toy and tool that's out there in the marketing world. All right, there's another way to grow your business with clear marketing, and that's on your website. I think this is one of the most neglected tools that people have, is the website. It's your most powerful marketing tool because it's one of the main things that people will go to check you out. In fact, before they check out your brick and mortar site, likely they're going to go to your website. Even if there's a referral. I mean, if you're referred by somebody's friend, and they're going to probably say, go check out this company's website. Just take a look around. And if it's not clear, you're going to miss out on an opportunity. I don't know how much business is left on the table because of websites that are dated or confusing or have no strong call to action, no process for taking people through. And so if you haven't thought about that, I mean, most people just say, oh, you can have a website. And just having a website, well, maybe that was fine in like 2005. But it's not 2005 anymore. And even having a nice looking website is still not enough, because anybody can have that with a template. It's really thinking things through. I mean, using your clear message and putting it on your website, I think is essential. And too many people are just not doing it. They think it's enough just to have a website. But I think a clear website is what's going to separate you. It's the words that you put. It's the flow of it. It's the formatting that you use that's going to set you apart from your competition and give you an advantage in leading people through. This is what they're thinking, and this is what they need to do, and here's what we want them to do. All right, here's 10 things I think you should have on your homepage. The first thing that I would say is a picture of success in the header. All right, so you want to have a picture of success. And in this chiropractor friend, again, I'll just use him as an example. It's a site that was designed just to help people who were in a car accident. And so we wanted to show a picture of somebody looking strong, looking healthy, and feeling great after their accident. So the picture of success matches up with the headline. And that is that people can feel great after their auto accident. So all of a sudden, I know exactly what these people are doing. They're promising to make me feel strong again after a season of feeling very weak after an auto accident. And then you have a call to action. So I would say put that early and then put it often. Even on just this top screenshot, you see 2 calls to action right away. And they're very clear and they're in green. I know they want me to book some sort of a consultation or book something. So get in the door. That's what they want. And then right below the fold, I would say state the problem that you solve. And the reason why we say this is because psychologically what that does is it says there's a problem in the world and we're going to solve it. So when you state the problem early, what that does is they say, well, I want to know how this problem gets solved. Is there any solution to this? That's what makes things interesting. Whenever we hear that there's a problem in the world, it opens up what we call a story loop. And story loops, we need to close them. We need to have just a bit of closure in this. We want to know how the movie ends. We want to know how the story wraps up. We want to know, does the hero win the day? And so when you state the problem early, what you're doing is saying, there is something that I want to tell you about how we're going to solve this. And that's how you can get people to continue to scroll down your homepage. Then usually we talk about the benefits to the customer. I usually put icons in this, just something that breaks up the text. It gives a bit more visual. And you're not just talking about the features that you offer, you're talking about the benefits. So what do people get when they work with us? Or, so I could talk a little bit of all the things I do, but I really, as a consumer, what you really care about is what do you get based on the things you do, right? So it's just totally flipping it from I'm the hero and this is all my features to you're the hero and here's how I'm going to help you. So include the benefits to the customer. And then you want an about section, and this is where it's actually okay to talk about yourself. Make some empathetic statements about how you understand what the people are going through as they've got these problems that you want to solve. And then you can share a little bit about how you're passionate about helping people. You've got these certain credentials, and that leads to the next part, which is the people that you've helped before. And these are the testimonials. Good testimonials just really are like 2 sentences, like, I had a back pain and then I went to see Dr. Wilson and now I don't have back pain anymore. That's really all you need. It's just like pick a problem that people are struggling with that you've helped people already and then show that you are a provider of solutions to that problem. And you'll have some great testimonials, I promise you. What you shouldn't do is just say, hey, I need a testimonial for my website. Can you think of something? Here's what too many people do is they say, boy, testimonial. Okay, I guess I better think of something. Well, I'm not great with words and I'm pretty busy, so I'll put that off. Well, 2 or 3 weeks go by and eventually they throw something together. And sometimes it's too long or sometimes it just misses the mark of what you need to create an effective testimonial. What I recommend doing is just write 2 or 3 sentences of what you know describes that person's situation and then send it to them and say, does this describe your situation? Would you put your name with this? They 10 times out of 10 will say, yes, I'm happy to help you. No problem. Put it up on your website. And that's how you get a great testimonial that actually connects with people. Because remember, people are going to your website with a problem that you solve, and now you just pick that problem and then you write it out. I had this problem, and then this company solved it. So that's what testimonials do. It's just social proof that you are in the business of solving people's problems. And then I'd include the steps to work with you. These are the 1, 2, 3 steps. It's part of your plan from point number 2. Right, you talked about how you take the customer on a journey and just put that out there, right? That make it very clear. Maybe people are wondering, how do I work with these people? Well, you just put it right there. No problem. It's already there. You've already thought it through. And then you take from your answer of what this failure look like if they don't work with us and just sprinkle it in your website and finish off with a picture of success saying, here's what we can accomplish for you. People love to see their ideal self on your website. So put success there and put it often. And these are the top 10, I would argue, must-haves for your homepage. Here's an example of what it could look like. This is what we call a wireframe. I did this wireframe for a client that we had at a pharmacare company in Sweden. And, if you have a napkin, you don't have to have a coding or design skills. You just have to have a napkin or a piece of paper. And you can just write down all the different things that I talked about in those top 10. You can put them all on a piece of paper. Here's the second half of it. and then just hand it to any designer and they'll say, oh, that's awesome that you've already got all the words there, because so many web designers have an eye for design. They know how to put colors together and choose the right fonts. It's the copy. It's the words that really get them caught up a little bit, or they miss the mark. And so you don't want to have to worry about that. You can do it yourself, right? Don't worry about them missing the mark with your text. You do it yourself. Provide it for them on a napkin or a piece of paper, and I guarantee you'll get a better deal on your website, because it's the copy that most designers will struggle with the most. If you need more help with this, I'd love to help you with a little resource that I've created. It's called 6 Simple Changes to Transform Your Website Right Away. Just things that you could do, and you'll have a more robust understanding, and you won't look at websites the same, I guarantee you. Like, oh, this is not clear. Oh, this is a waste of time. Oh, this is not going to work. So go to getclearsites.ca/6changes. You can download that resource for free. All right, we have one more piece of clarity that I think will help grow your business, and that's the value that you offer. Clear value is what will keep you from becoming a commodity. It's so tempting to just think we have to lower our prices. Maybe you'll see your competition doing it. Maybe you'll see a lower, maybe think, the temptation is, if I lower it, maybe I'll get more people in the door. But the problem is that this is easily just becomes a race to the bottom. And we know that a race to the bottom is actually a race to bankruptcy. And we don't want that for you. We want to grow your business, and we want you to have people that you really like working with. But you have to be clear on the transition from where they are to where they want to be, and how you can actually help them. So people, I believe, don't need more information. We have so much information out there. What we really need is transformation. And so you really got to focus, if you want to show the value of your business, focus on the transformation that you can offer people, where you take them from where they are now to where they will be. This is a great journey, and your product is that blue arrow. Whatever it is that you do, you're going to take them from having problems to having that problem solved, and that's where the money is. People will pay money for things that they value. Starbucks is genius for this, right? We used to pay like 50 cents or $1 for a cup of coffee, and Starbucks somehow convinced us that we should pay $5 for a cup of coffee. I don't know how they did it, but it's just part of it now. Well, Starbucks would say, well, it's not just coffee, it's the value of the experience. The people you see, it's the cafe, it's the staff that you meet. These are all part of the value that goes into a cup of coffee. And we say, yep, you know what? That's worth it. This business has convinced us that $5 for a cup of coffee is a good value. Now, I saw another example. Maybe you're not a coffee person. I'm a father. And one of the pieces of advice that somebody gave me before we had kids was, when it comes to the diapers, you need an area that you could dispose of them that doesn't waft the smell of feces through your entire house, because it can easily happen if you just throw dirty diapers in the garbage. And so they told us about this, thing called the diaper genie. I was like, oh, that's interesting. So we went to go buy a diaper genie, and I was completely amazed at how expensive the diaper genie was. And so I was like, forget it. We're not paying that. But my wife's like, no, it's a recommendation, trustworthy person. Let's just get it. So I paid it once, and I thought, okay, whatever. Well, eventually we'd take the dirty diapers and put it down, and we were running out of bags. And at some point we did run out of bags. And so we had to go and throw dirty diapers in the garbage. And again, the smell just wafted through the house. And I thought, oh, where is the diaper genie? I wish we had a diaper genie right now. In fact, I'd pay anything. I'd pay double for a diaper genie. And they became that valuable to me that I literally would have paid double if somebody had gone door to door just giving out diaper genie bags. So that's the power of value, is that it was truly important to me. And so I was willing to spend my hard-earned money on it. So you have to think about, what is the value of the transformation that you offer your clients? And you got to hold to that, and you got to be strong in it, and look people in the eye and say, this is how much it costs. And then when they say, well, why does it cost that much? Someone else is giving this. You say, well, here's the transformation that we offer. Is this worth it to you? And that's the power of clarity, is you're taking your hero on a journey where they're a better version of themselves. They have problems solved, less stress, less anxiety, less troubles. And that's worth something to people. So that's the value, and the power of clarity and establishing value is it keeps you from having a race to the bottom of your pricing. So we've talked about having a clear target, knowing who you're trying to reach, who you like working with, and what it is that they want, and where are they, so that you can communicate with them with a very clear message. You've thought through some of the elements of story, and what are they interested in, and how do I need to present myself as a trustworthy guide that has a plan for them that could lead to their great success. Or if they don't, I mean, they get messed up in their problems and stay in their failure. And that's a big issue, but that's all part of a clear message that you're using, and then you're sprinkling it over all of your marketing collateral. Then you're going to have a clear strategy. This is where we talked about having a funnel and sticking to it and just being committed to that. So you're not going to subscribe yourself to death with all kinds of different new pieces of software or new marketing strategies or ideas. You just stick with one and you go with it. And you're going to have a clear website. We're going to make sure that your website follows a pattern of how people are interacting with it. You have a clear call to action, picture of success, all those different things. I think those will really help you. Then you're going to have clear value. You're going to know what you can charge and why you charge it. All right, how can we apply this today? A couple of things. I just want you to just think about those last 5 points and really apply it. Take the time to do it. I know you're stressed. I know there's lots going on. Running a business is a ton of work. Being a leader of people and trying to keep up a brick and mortar location, there's just so much. But your marketing is so important if you want to grow your business. So do the hard work of bringing clarity to your marketing. But some of you might need help. You need to partner with somebody who's going to do it for you, because you just don't have the time, or you're just not really great with words. So I'd encourage you to go to our website, getclear.ca, and book a consultation call. It's just 30 minutes where we'll talk through your marketing strategy. We'll assess some of your issues that you're struggling with in your business and some of those pain points, and we're going to see how we can help you with it. And some people are just literally so stubborn that they don't want to hire an agency, and I get it because they're expensive, and you just want some help. So what we've done is we created the DIY Marketing Mastery online course. It's 8 weeks where we just talk through your all the different areas of marketing that a little bit of what we've touched on today. I'll do it with you. We'll talk about how to create an elevator pitch, how to wireframe out a website there. We're going to talk about how to do email campaigns, lead magnets, Google ads, Facebook ads, all that kind of stuff. The best marketing platform. I'm going to teach you how to do it all. It's going to take us 8 weeks. It's going to be a great investment because you're going to get lots of new leads and grow your business. And you're going to be able to say, I did it myself, which for a DIYer, I mean, there's no greater achievement, right? So just consider that. Here's the website, DIYmarketingmastery.com/online, and we'll get you connected. Jump on a call. We can talk a little bit about it. I'd love to see you as part of this program. If you're listening this far, you must be interested. And so take the next step. Go to DIYmarketingmastery.com/online and jump in on that program, because it's going to be very beneficial for your marketing. All right. Thanks so much for being a part of this. It's been great to get to talk to you, to hopefully add value to your marketing, to bring clarity to it. And so thanks so much for your time. I know your time is precious, and it's been a lot of fun. So I'm just going to close down this screen share here, and I'm going to wave my final goodbye. I hope we can connect again, and have a great day, and go out and create amazing, clear marketing that inspires people to find solutions to their problems. And I hope you're going to be the one to do it and grow your business in the process. Have a great day.